What is the deal, beautiful people? It is your boy Uncle RZA, and
Boy Snow, holla.
yeah, we don't really get to tag team motherfuckers like this too often, but this is a heavyweight topic right here.
Rare
We
occurrence.
need
right
all
here.
hands on deck for this one.
You already know.
Shit. So basically, what's going on is we got the Wall Street analysts at it again. I swear to God, I should have been an analyst. Yeah, there's two people in this world that will always have jobs: analysts and weathermen. They don't have zero fucks to give. They have no accountability for their fucked up advice, and they live a good life.
Yep.
That's how I see it. So these guys came out and said that the PS4 is to outsell the Xbox by 40% in the next 4 years, and that's a good chunk of the console's life expectancy. We're talking about half, right? If we to believe these things are gonna last 10 years.
Right. I mean, at that point, it'll put them at next 4 years. Yeah, that'd be because we're in the second year. So yeah, that'd put them at half.
2019.
Yeah.
I mean, me personally, I don't have a reason to believe that this number is wrong, because I think that's damn near what it is today.
Right.
And I don't see that trend breaking, because those who are gonna buy a PlayStation are gonna buy it, and those who are gonna buy an Xbox are gonna buy that. I don't see an event happening that's gonna offset that lead. I don't care what game it is.
Right.
Unless Sony just decides to stop making PlayStation 4s for like a year, there's nothing that's gonna offset that. Sony just did the damn thing in execution at the beginning. It's like a Tupac song, you know what I tell you. You did it in a sleazy way. But they did it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They jumped out the gate like a fucking rocket ship.
Right.
So I don't see why they wouldn't hold on to that lead. So I think for once I agree with the analyst. What about you?
I mean, I'm kind of on the same par, but I kind of want to give a little bit more heads up to to the Microsoft Xbox division. I don't think 40 seems to be too much. I would go with a safe 30. You know what I mean? 30, 25 to 30. Because I do feel like this is the first time that Microsoft has ever positioned themselves in a way that don't really make them like assholes. Except for pre-launch. When the dude told the guys who, you know, you want my own shit, buy my own albums. Pretty much what he said. Buy a 360.
What? Get a 360, stupid.
Right, you know what I mean? And in the short attention span of the internet today, some things are just never forgotten when it comes down to certain things. So, I mean, in one note, I have to side with these numbers, even if it does do the 40%, on the strength of, you know, it's mimicking the PS2. As they did write in the article, and I agree. You know what I mean? It's huge jump out. The only thing that I want to take away from that and not give them the full 40 is it's not the same thing as what happened with the PS1 jump to the PS2. I mean, there was a lot of players in that realm. You know what I mean? We're talking Sega Saturn. We're talking the PlayStation 1. We're talking the Nintendo 64, and then that next generation. I'm not even gonna name those fourth and fifth players there. But then when we jump to the Sega Saturn, that's when, you know, the bleeding was damn near unstoppable for Sega. We went to the GameCube, which, in my opinion, Nintendo got it wrong there. And then you know, the PlayStation 2 was just like, we got the DVD player. We got this, we got that. What y'all gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, they had that market cornered. Yeah, actually the pricing wasn't even that bad compared to the PS3 when it first came out. So
I don't think anything was bad compared to the PS3.
Oh man, it's terrible. I mean, it's the reason why I got mine like in what, 2008. But
yeah,
it's but also the other reason why I got mine in 2008, which was the next point I was gonna get at, was one, the technology jump, but my PS2 was still turning out great games.
That was a thing for a while.
Yeah, I still had great games, and some people may wonder, like, well, just name 3. I'm gonna tell you right now, there was 2 God of Wars, and like 2 SOCOMs.
I think you could name any 3 games that were actually on the PS3 at the same time.
Yeah. I
That
mean,
had more features.
right. I mean, the sports games were split. The sports games were split, and the wrestling games. Oh my God, the wrestling games at the end of the life cycle for PS2 look like the first year of the Xbox One. I mean, of the Xbox 360 and the PS3 games, as far as stills and stuff goes. You know, so that was a big jump, and not to mention countries came on later too. Like Brazil is a big company, a big market area for PlayStation. I mean, they do very well. If you ever realize when you're online gaming in a PlayStation network, I don't really see this too much with Xbox. You realize that you're almost always on a server dealing with Brazil players. Like, it's almost inevitable. It's almost inevitable. Now, I mean, maybe not for the driving games. Not to say that they can't drive, because they was damn sure getting my ass in Need for Speed. But in games like SOCOM for one, the Battlefield game that we did have online on PS2,
them dudes was there.
Yeah, the sports games, they were there, especially baseball and FIFA and not Pro Evo. It wasn't Pro Evo at the time. It was Winning 11. So like they were there.
Yeah. Oh, well, I think the PS3, if you look at it, it was the price that stopped Brazil from getting on, though.
I think so too, because if it's what $600 to $800 here, it's like triple that like, there.
Exactly, like a $500 console in Brazil is unaffordable.
Right.
An $800 console, yeah, that's a Ferrari.
Right.
So I think that had a lot to play with it, but yeah, I feel what you're saying. Definitely feel what you're saying. So
and just to be clear, they're talking units. They're talking units, so let's not talk sales, because we're talking units. So.
Right. I think there's something really interesting here that a lot of people are gonna miss when they hear this news or they see this fucking weather cast and whatever you want to call it. Microsoft is in a position to not care about these numbers.
True.
I mean, you're talking about a company that did a $1.2 billion write-off for the Surface Pro, and then turned around and did it again for the Surface Pro 2, and now all of a sudden, magically, the Surface Pro 3 is on everyone's Christmas list. Like, they don't, you know what I mean? They don't care.
Right.
To them, it's all about a conversation. We don't need to be the only one that you're talking about in the room, but as long as you're talking about us, we're good. As long as we're in the race, we're good. And this is something I used to tell you back in the day when people would annoy me with that conversation about who's the best technology company in the world. And I would sit them down and say, okay, let's go at this from a very facetious point of view. So, and this was back when the PlayStation 3 was out. So you got the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. Let's take gaming as a category. Who's number 2? Microsoft is number 2, right? You give the nod to Sony for whatever reason, and we're not even arguing. We're just skimming the level.
Right.
Let's take operating systems. Let's say that Windows is second to Mac OS. Fine.
Right.
Let's take productivity software. Let's say Office is second to whatever the fuck doesn't exist, because Office is second to nothing.
Right.
Let's take enterprise solutions.
Right.
Let's say they're second to, I don't know, IBM or whoever the fuck is still out there, Oracle.
Right.
Which is not the case. That they're second. Let's take search. They're second to Google with Bing. But when you step back and you average out all of that, and you look at who is the highest ranking company in every single one of these areas, without a doubt, it's Microsoft every single time.
Exactly.
And that is the same attitude that comes off over here. Like, all they're worried about with the Xbox One is to make sure they don't fuck up. They don't give a shit if they sell 2 or 3 of them.
Right.
The point is that people are going to have it. People know it exists. And I think for the first time in the history of fanboyism, I think the one thing that I can be proud about the gaming community is I feel like this is the first fanboy community that will own the product that they fucking hate. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Because people will talk shit about an iPhone and they will never buy one. They'll talk shit about a BMW because they own an Audi and they'll never buy one. But I feel like we have this thing as gamers where, you know, because everyone doesn't want to be, oh, I want to be a gamer, even though you're a fucking fanboy. You know, you're still gonna go out and get the Xbox just so you can get on the forum and say, you see, I own the Xbox, and I'm telling you this shit is trash. You know, either way, it's a win for the consoles.
Right.
But I think that Microsoft is in a position to care less about these numbers. And I also think on the other side of that, Sony is in a position where they need to hold on to this. And like I said in the beginning, I don't see them losing it. I just don't. And why I say that is because they're trimming the fat from every angle. They got rid of Vio. They got rid of the TVs. They're looking to get rid of their phone division. They just did some crazy shit with the videos and music I saw today.
Yeah, no, that's
So they're banking on the PlayStation. And this thing has to work for them. And I don't mean it has to work for Sony, because you know me, I don't give a shit about Sony per se. I love my Sony camera. Shout out to that.
Right.
But for gaming, Sony cannot disappear.
Huge.
This is not the smartphone market where you have Android and iOS and nobody else can compete. No, we don't need that, because Nintendo can't be trusted. Nintendo's out here selling people a 3DS without a fucking cable.
Right.
That type of shit can't be trusted. I don't care how dope your shit is. They can't be trusted. And then Microsoft, forget about it. I love Microsoft to death, but if there's nobody to kick them in the ass, you just won't see dope shit from Microsoft.
And therefore they can't be trusted either.
Exactly. They can't be trusted.
And I'm gonna tell you another thing. If Nintendo goes down, which hurts everybody, Sony can't be trusted. So all three of them need each other. Checks and balances.
They gotta work.
They gotta work, man. I mean, and Nintendo, they are probably one of the worst passive aggressive people I've ever seen in my life, because these same analysts are saying that these guys probably won't even clear over 10 mil by the time 2019. And it's cool to say that they don't care, but what's happening with them is my PS3 and 360 still outperforms the Wii U. So for homes that don't have it yet, they still don't want to invest in it, because they still haven't done a great job of getting that word out there. Now, the flip side of that is, people don't know that Nintendo just canceled, what is that, Wii TV out in Europe or something like that. Like, people don't know that. No one, and I don't want to report on it, because I feel like it'd be, you know, that'd be doing a disservice. I don't want people to think I got a Wii U just to report the negative things. I would have known about that because of what we do. I would have known about that regardless. But there's also another thing. I think Ubisoft just backed out of a game with Wii U because their unit sales are still not looking good. And I believe this game was promised to them. Not promised, but it was promised to be an exclusive game if Nintendo raised their Wii U sales. And at this point
oh my god.
At this point in the game, at this point in the game, you know, they also is saying that people are not realizing the true strength of the Wii U tablet. And let me tell you something. I'm using this thing, and I'm not using this thing to play games just yet. I'm using this thing just to mess around with the tablet from a tech standpoint. And even this was 2-3 years ago now, so this thing is missing stuff. So of course these developers are not going to see it. It's a nuisance. It's in the way. Like, when I use it, it's so ridiculously slow. Like, sometimes I feel like my PlayStation my PS3 cross media bar is more responsive and faster than this little tablet from the Wii U. And that shouldn't be the case. At least not there.
Right.
You know what I mean? You did a great job of getting games to look good, because Bayonetta looks excellent. Mario Kart 8 looks excellent. And I'm sure Link/Zelda and Hyrule, whatever, is gonna look excellent too. But you know, your niche isn't catching on.
It's a problem, son.
It's not the 3DS. I gave power to the 3DS. I said, yo, I'm not worried about the sales of 3DS. They're gonna come up late like it always do, because in my opinion, no matter what era of that Nintendo handheld, it's always in everybody's hands. I always see that in people's hands. Yeah, so I'm never, so I'm never worried about that. But this Wii U, that is a big deal. That is a big deal to me because yes, Nintendo probably still have some printed money from the 80s and the 90s, but at some point or another, this is going to hurt them because I know they're losing casual gamers. I know they are because that audience,
they fucked it up.
Right, and I want to be clear about something. I'm not counting the grandma in them. I never counted them. I only count them when we're talking units sold. But as far as their core casual, that crowd is starting to dissipate. And where they're going, they're going over to PlayStation. Yeah. They're going over to PlayStation, and they're going to have more reasons to invest in the Xbox, which removes Wii U from being that always number 2, that sidekick that the Wii played. So
yep, that was a brilliant angle too.
Yeah.
To be a sidekick, that was a hell of an angle.
A great angle. I mean, they by units sold, they won last gen.
They sure did. They sure did. Yeah, but I know you can definitely tell the fanboys depending on who you talk to when you hear this shit. I mean, I feel like that is the split right now, and it will continue to be the split. It's just one of those things where like Sony did a. I sit back and I look at the last generation, and I feel like Sony misstepped so many times, and they still caught up, which in itself is an amazing thing.
Yeah, it shows how much that they did do right, regardless of the missteps.
Exactly, and you know, even that, I felt like the gamers had to suffer so much for that last minute. Like they were saving so much for that last run, the last 2-3 years of the consoles. Like, you know, Heavy Rain and what's the name of the other one that you like to play? There was a few
Last
dope
of Us,
ones, man.
The Last of Us,
Beyond
Two Souls.
I mean, you know these Beyond Two Souls, like,
right? Puppeteer. Like I love Puppeteer. I
felt like they starved the PlayStation loyalists to like the end, and they made it up. You know what I mean? And when you look at, how that works,
I don't know because for one moment, you know, I see what you're talking about, but like I feel like I had at least 3 games per year from Sony that had my interest, and I might have bought 1 or 2. And then,
but now we're getting into the topic of mediocre versus quality. Though.
Well, either way, you and I, we have this discussion all the time. Where Microsoft,
the Sony gamers are different gamers.
Well, that too, but I was gonna compare it to what Microsoft does. Like, they just piss shit out sometimes. Like, oh, here's this Windows Mobile, not Windows Phone. Here's this Windows Mobile. We're just, you know, we're softening you guys up for this hook later. And then when the Windows Phone came out, they do 3 more jabs for no fucking reason. It's like, son, just throw the fucking hook already. You know, then you mentioned the Surface Pro, the Surface Pro 2, and then Sony has so many studios out the ass where it's just like, you know what, I'm bored. You guys, you're gonna go drop a game this year. I don't care what it is. Just drop it. It needs to say Sony exclusive. Like, you guys over there, there's a crowd for you. You're gonna sell about 20 to 50,000. Drop something for me. You guys, Journey, that looks like something our audience will eat up. We're gonna push your shit. And it's like, son, what happened to the other 2 games? The other 2 games that I actually really enjoyed. You're not gonna push that, but you're gonna push this Journey shit, and then you're gonna push Unfinished Swan. Like, what about this? So, I mean, that's just the way they work.
Yeah, either way, I think it was. I don't see. My point was, what Sony did was just remarkable the last generation.
Yeah.
And I don't see that happening, because I feel like both companies, Microsoft and Sony, went through tremendous pains to launch at the same time. And the truth is, neither one of them were ready to launch when these things launched. It was almost like if they were able to sit in a room and be like, yo, are you launching? Yeah.
Right.
Well, I'm thinking about not launching. Are you thinking about not launching?
Right.
Yeah, I could use some more time.
Right.
All right, well, you know what I mean? Like, I felt like that was a conversation that could happen.
And flip a coin who goes first.
Exactly. And the key thing here was it was an even playing ground from the jump. And I feel like we're never going to see a repeat performance of the push that Sony had on the PlayStation 3. So whoever has the lead now is going to continue to have the lead. Right. And I stand by that. And that's Sony. And what people need to understand about Microsoft is they don't care about the lead. They care about profit. Right? And if you take that concept and give it to Sony, part of Sony's brand at this point, the PlayStation brand, is being in the lead. PlayStation needs to be the premier system for gaming. That's what they stand for. That's what they're about. No matter what Microsoft does, the Xbox will be the Xbox. It'll never be this fucking lineage of gaming. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how I always feel. Like if you were to compare the legacy of an Xbox to a PlayStation, the PlayStation wins every time. The most hardcore of Xbox dudes started on a PlayStation.
Right.
And had a PlayStation 2 and probably still had a PlayStation 3.
Right.
So Microsoft is, I think they're less, like, I feel like people may see these numbers and think it hurts Microsoft. It doesn't. It doesn't hurt Microsoft because they're selling, they're making their profit, and they're continuing to do what they're going to do. It doesn't hurt Sony because they're obviously in the lead and they've got the mind share. So it continues to be a win-win for gaming. That's just how I see it. Anything less than this right now, I would be completely fucking worried for gaming.
Yeah, and I know people like to throw around like rumor talks, and I don't like to get into it, but like, or just hypothetical talks, and I don't like to get into it either. You know, someone was saying somebody should buy a Nintendo, and I'm like, I don't think you understand how much money Nintendo makes. Their profit is ridiculous. That's number one.
They are like the Apple of gaming.
Right. Their profit on for every console sold, 1 or 2 games supposed to put them back in the black, right?
Yeah.
And
that's amazing.
You like, even at the discounted price, which is going to add 3 games, if you bought the console, you're going to buy at least 3 games. I don't care what it is. There's never been a console I've ever owned and never bought at least 3 games in the first year.
Right.
So imagine having that console for 4 or 5 years and then you buy 1 game per. You get what I'm saying?
And they're all quality, by the way.
And well, especially from Nintendo, it's all quality games. So, you know, those numbers, I mean, I remember the PSP numbers. I think they made $5 from every PSP at one point. The Xbox 360 would have had some decent numbers if it wasn't for the triple rings.
The rings, yeah.
PS3 had.
I think they were in the black like the last 2 years of its life cycle.
Right, and I think the PS3 had similar issues, not with the rings, but problems making black based on the console itself. So
yeah, they were trimming features. That's how they got into black with that shit.
Right. So the thing with this console generation is already Xbox is going negative with against their thing, and they've found ways to get around that. The biggest thing was to remove the Kinect, you know.
The Kinect, yeah.
And now that they're playing, that was supposed to have been $100 off, so they say, and then now we're looking at $350, $325. I mean, at one point I seen one for $275 on a special deal, but at that point that's not hurting. If I'm not mistaken, that doesn't hurt Microsoft because they already sold. They already sold it. So it's the retailer. Exactly. The retailer had to eat that, and you know, it still comes down to they gotta sell the software. If they make their games, and it's not even just the internal stuff, because the internal stuff got to cover the house for the internal developers. So as long as they can sell the software, it's fine. They can sell, you know, 2 million consoles for the rest of the duration per year. As long as these games sell, they're good money.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're definitely off to a dope start, man.
I mean, it's great. I like where we are. Regardless of the numbers, just enjoyment wise, the only thing that I think you and I struggle with, maybe me more so than you, is incomplete games, which is what we've been talking about for the 3 years now, and it's becoming a bigger
well,
issue.
you
it's becoming a bigger issue.
Turning them off. I look the other way. I don't give a fuck about you if you come into the table half-assed, but you like to be vested in games, and you follow them shits from who made this, and that's the PlayStation in you.
Right. I mean, you gotta enjoy it. Yeah. So I mean, sometimes it's a deeper appreciation. But you know me though. Like look at Drive Club, son. Like it's looking more beautiful and beautiful. But I stay with my foot somewhere near the ass of Rusty, man, because just because like you didn't even deliver. Forget about everything else everyone else is hanging you for. You ain't delivering on the one thing that made me buy into the game.
Yeah, the social shit.
So, you know what I mean? It's that kind of shit where it's like, even for other games, and now we end up the price bargain war. You know, whether or not something is worth 60. I think the PlayStation, that's the PlayStation's going to have to worry about. All their games, they get ridiculed.
I got the video rendering right now.
I bet you do. Was that your fans that I just heard? But,
My bad.
The order is under scrutiny for being a $60 game for 5 hours worth of content, and this dude's defending it, and the guy's making some pretty good claims, but the problem is it's in the wrong forum. I would suggest he just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
He should just
shut up. That's pretty much what I'm saying in my video, because first of all...
Oh, you on the same page?
Yeah. Because the shit that bugged me out about his response was he's making himself seem like a victim. Like, yo, my man, you are a late year to the market.
Yeah.
You deserve all the ass whipping you can get right now.
Right. And at best,
that's my stance. Like, you don't get to be late to an interview and then tell the interviewer why you being an asshole to me.
Right.
Fuck you.
And my thing,
we had 9 o'clock.
And my thing with him is, son, you see the market, you see the storm. It's everyone's waiting outside your door with the motherfucking gasoline and the straws and the picket signs. Like, just shut the fuck up. Come out of the courtroom, come out of your house with security, go right into the limo and drive to your job. Don't say nothing.
You gotta say a fucking word.
Because every time you say something, it is a headline and it is more negative energy going towards your game. I was in a PlayStation forum, and mind you heard RZA talk about, like, this is what PlayStation people do. You see the discrepancy, the tear, the divide of just gamers that are PlayStation fans that are putting a price to hours worth of the game that no one has touched yet.
That's crazy.
And this sways people. It sways people more now than it's ever done. Because now I made this in one of my other videos. The Evolve video. The misinformation can hurt you. This can hurt you because people are trusting trolls. They're trusting trolls. It's like, you know how they teach us brick and mortar kids, don't take candy from a stranger, don't go home, don't get in cars with strangers. You're taking gaming advice from strangers in texts that are unproven. At least when we get on, you can say that we're unproven, but then you can listen to a few of our videos and decide whether or not we are a hit or a miss, or we're dead on, or we're just dead off. These other people, they don't got no channels. They just make comments. Anywhere. Comments.
But the thing, what I find fascinating is, I think a troll is a very intelligent person. Believe me, I know, because I'm a mega fucking troll. I think there's a difference between a troll and a fucking idiot.
I mean,
only an idiot would sit there and tell me about how many hours of a gameplay a game is worth. Because I played Destiny, and I know people that continue to play Destiny and have put well over 200 hours into that game, and that game is still, to this day, in my opinion, worth $10. So how do I then turn around and say, here's a 200-hour game that is worth $10, and I'm supposed to be mad at a 5-hour game that's worth $60? That doesn't even make sense. That equation's all fucked up. And then you got the Metal Gear shit where people try to sell me, they sell me what I sell people about Kanye West. Oh, he's a genius. Oh, so Kanye West makes this fucking game, and I'm supposed to buy the Yeezys and put on the Yeezys in the video game, and I can beat the video game in 5 minutes, but it's okay because it's Kanye West? No, fuck you. I don't care who made the game. You can't charge me $30 for a video game that I beat in 5 minutes. And it wasn't supposed to be charged in the first place because it's a fucking demo of the whole game. So the whole game comes out with the limited edition, with the fucking with this, what's this guy's name? I almost said Sam Fisher. What is my man? What is my man from Metal Gear?
It's Snake.
Snake. So you want me to buy the fucking the special edition, limited edition copy of Metal Gear with Snake that comes with the fucking vibrating dildo for $90, and I already purchased the fucking $30 demo because I didn't learn my lesson when Gran Turismo did it. Get the fuck out of here with that. How am I supposed to apply that same concept to 5 hours at 6? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like you said earlier, if it's 5 hours, the best 5 hours of my fucking life,
yep,
then it was worth it. Yep. There's no getting around that shit. If you could take 3 hours out of any Uncharted game, I would seriously pay $100 for that. And I will defend that until the death of me.
You could do this.
That game is just that fucking dope.
I agree. You could remove 3 endings from Heavy Rain, and I would still pay the same price. Full
there
price,
you go.
If not more.
There you go.
Same thing with The Last of Us. I didn't buy Last of Us for multiplayer, and I damn sure didn't buy Drake Uncharted 2 or 3 for multiplayer. Shit, I barely buy COD for multiplayer. Actually, I don't buy COD for multiplayer. I played campaign.
There you, that's exactly what I said in my video. COD is about 5 hours long, right?
Always.
And you know me, I like shooting games.
Give or take a few.
I want to get in the car. I want to drive fast. I want to take the gun. I want to shoot somebody.
Right.
And I didn't even finish the fucking campaign in the last 3 CODs.
Right.
What does that tell you? But
right.
I still spent my $60. I don't give a shit.
Right.
It's worth it. And you know, that game is made for people like me with the ADD problem.
Right.
I get in, shit blows up. I'm like, son. I get on the phone. I'll be like, yo, Snow, this shit crazy, son. The building fell. And I'm happy as shit. Take my $60, sir. Ain't got nothing to do with hours in the game. And I wish that's why I say there's a difference between trolls and fucking idiots.
Right.
See, a troll would tell you some shit like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me the PlayStation did not have a blockbuster title yet, and the closest thing you have coming to it is only 5 hours?
Right.
You want me, who don't own a PlayStation, to spend $400 plus tax, plus another $60 to own a mediocre title when I could have bought it when the PlayStation was $275 and played Killzone?
Right.
That's what a troll says. That's the type of shit trolls do.
Right.
You know, where you gotta sit down and be like, damn, how the fuck am I gonna argue with this guy now?
Right.
You know, you gotta write your points down and come hard. That's a troll. These people out here talking about gameplay hours, man, go fuck yourself with that. How much is Rayman? Rayman's like $2.
It's like $10 right now.
One of these fucking systems got a game better than Rayman.
You ain't lying.
Except for my Forza.
Well, except for Shadow and Morza.
Shadow you like the Mordor shit.
Oh my god, son. Oh my god, son. I love that game, son.
You see?
I put it like this. That game is so good that you could buy that 270. You could have bought that 275 PS4, and then I could have share play with you every hour of Shadow and Mortar, and it was worth it.
And it was worth it. But that's your point, and I feel that it's sad. And you hit the nail on the hammer with. I don't know if you said it in one of your videos or when we were at lunch and just conversation, that the YouTubers have this wild amounts of power all of a sudden, and they're just spewing dumb shit out the side of their mouths.
Yeah, man.
And then the media, the fucking IGN and GameStop, they can't be trusted because there's checks under the fucking table. It's like, who the fuck am I supposed to trust here? I swear to God, like, if the title of your video is The Order 1866, only 5 hours, you should uncheck that guy, unsubscribe from that channel right away.
Right.
You know that's going to be the title of my video, right?
Yeah, no, that probably. Because I was gonna make that video too. I mean, you saw what I did with the Evolve thing, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and that's again with the information. Now, someone who I do like when he's on his game, you know what I mean? He's not whatever's going on. He usually gives great reviews that go deeper than what a lot of reviewers would say. Even he got the whole DLC thing wrong with Evolve. Evolve is not pay to win. Evolve, yes, it did have microtransactions for skins. None of the reviewers that I watched, whether high level or a few high level YouTube who I consider high level, and then the 2 or 3 major gaming outlets, none of them mention the plans going forward with Evolve, which is essential because Evolve is a multiplayer only game with a somewhat of an offline campaign, which should be better than Titanfall's. But it's like this: if you have the game and you pay $60 for that game, for the life of that game, they are dropping free modes, free maps. The skins that they're charging for is the same shit that's happening in Little Big Planet or Project Spark, which is now free, I believe. That you can buy skins. That's it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yes, there's a Hunter's Pass. Yes, there's a Deluxe Pass, which is a Deluxe Edition, which is $80, which saves you $5 off of the already discounted Hunter's Pass bundle. And none of that other stuff is in it, and it shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be, because it's separate. I mean, how do they think games? What is it, like Dota? I think that's how Dota's run. Maybe World War, like these free to play games that are MMOs that are popping, where they're never paying for content. What they paying for is a hat. They paying for an orb, to a color of an orb, a color of some pixels. Nothing that breaks the game. So again,
true.
People who are, we live in a day of information, and it just shows that our nation is full of dummies. It's at the fingertips, B.
Yeah.
You just gotta look.
I'm moving to China.
I
think people are smart over there.
You would hope, right?
Let me. I'm gonna say this about the DLC shit, and this is something I said before, and I feel like if you don't get this part of it, right? If you can't understand what I'm about to say, then you're just not a gamer. You're a fucking child with a controller in your hand. I will never forget the days of Rainbow Six and Ghost Recon on the original Xbox, where I came home and put like 8 hours into those games.
Yep.
And I just left school, college. I should be studying, and I'm putting huge amounts of time into these games. And it killed us. Like, we were crying for new maps.
Yep.
We were fucking crying for new guns. And it was like, oh my god, like, why can't we do this? And that type of shit was already going on the PC.
Yep.
And then it started to pick up on the 360 and on PlayStation 3. And now it's full steam ahead on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. I refuse to return to those days where I can't get more out of this game.
Yeah.
Now, hang on a second. There's an argument to be made there, because fucking game publisher puts pressure on game developer to get game out by X, Y, and Z time. Content's got to be cut. Game is not complete. Bugs are not squashed. Push it out anyway. Charge for shit later. That's something different. Nail them to the cross for that. But a lot of the games you mentioned, that is not the case.
Yep.
It's not the case. You get what I'm saying? Like Forza. Yeah, I got back on Forza 5 the other day. There was like 2 car packs. Where the fuck did these come from?
Right.
And I'm playing Forza Horizon 2. Yo, Forza 5 had like 12 car packs. Like, yes. And there's always going to be somebody that's going to say, well, you know, Gran Turismo had 1,200 cars out the gate. Yes, thanks for that. And, well, it only makes sense you get 12 car packs because they took them out of the original count so they can charge you for it. Yes, thanks for that. When knowing goddamn well most of these cars were released, these are brand new cars that came out after the game was launched.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? It's like, Jesus Christ, like, sit back a little bit and understand. It's just something that I always ask people. If you don't like it this way, then how would you prefer it? And no one ever has an answer for that.
Never.
If you wouldn't do it this way, then how would you do it?
It's the same question.
Then shut the fuck up. It's that simple.
Right.
If you think this is bad, do you want to go back to a world where you spend $60 for the game and that's it? You don't see content until Ghost Recon 2 a year and a half from now? Is that what you want? Because that's not what I want.
Yeah, I mean, look at the like I said in the Evolve video. If we're gonna slap customers, get educated, and slap. If we're gonna slap game developers or whatever, slap the ones that are doing it wrong and praise the ones that are doing it right. In my opinion, Evolve is doing it the right way. I don't have no interest in that game anymore, but I almost feel like for all the shit that they're being given, I should just purchase it. Right. And maybe later, like one day in the blue, right? Just to support. Battlefield, y'all guys know on this channel, y'all know we love Battlefield, but we don't hold hands with them. The one thing that they do well, and they do exceptionally well, is give us content. I mean, we've been playing. That premium is, yo, listen, son. This Battlefield 4. You think Battlefield 4 is dead because Hardline is coming out next month?
You're wrong.
You're wrong, B. Battlefield, we was playing Battlefield 3 way into the abyss. Same thing goes for Bad Company 2. Even though Bad Company 2 didn't have the premium plan, but same fucking deal, bro. Like, it lasted. I remember being on PS2, and here we go. We had that hard drive additional later, right? But not all of us had the hard drive. So we had got maps for SOCOM, I think it was 2. And then we had got maps later for SOCOM 3. And then there was the SOCOM Combined Assault, which in my opinion was a slick way of selling us an expansion pack for those who don't have the hard drive. And then later we had to buy the HD maps or whatever maps those were called, right? For us SOCOM community, yes, we wanted DLC out the ass. I wish we had a payment plan where we could have put $80 or $50 up for a premium, knowing that we can get more maps, catering to the breach mode, to the demolition mode, to the hostage mode, to the rescue mode, to the VIP mode. We wish. I was on PC gaming back then too. RZA just said it earlier about Rainbow Six. When RZA was asking for content on Rainbow Six, I was on PC. We was playing Battlefield 1942. Got 2 expansion packs. Got 3 expansion packs for Medal of Honor on PC. Got 1 expansion pack for Call of Duty, if I'm not mistaken. The first Call of Duty on PC. Loving it. Yep. Loving it. So when DLC came over, I was happy. There are some companies that are nickel and diamond, and there are some companies that are not. I tell you what, I've never purchased a Call of Duty DLC pack, but I tell you it's worth it. Especially for you guys who only play Call of Duty, it's worth it.
Yeah, even that shit that they did with the with that weird ass competitive stats that they had reserved.
Oh yeah, the elite.
Even that was worth it. Yeah, the elite, because that was a bunch of shit that the random dudes didn't give a fuck about.
Right.
But the people who did, they don't mind paying for it.
Right. You know what game I wish had DLC though?
Was that Knack?
Nah. Binary domain. Binary domain.
God, with the binary domains. Let it die.
Let me live. Let me live.
Son, let it die, son. It's got to die. Alright, going back to that dude with the Evolve shit you was talking about.
Yeah.
I'm all in with his theory, but I didn't like that cheerleading shit he did. When he got up on the interview and ran his mouth as if people who do offer fucking microtransactions and whatnot are cheating gamers. I thought that was childish.
Oh, he did that?
Yeah, there's an interview out there when he was saying, "Oh, we don't believe in doing such and such," and like, shut the fuck up.
Oh yeah. That guy. Yeah. He did. Right. Like we're running, we're hoodwinking gamers.
Exactly.
Right.
And he's fanning flames is what he's doing, because as it is, the community don't understand microtransactions. And I did a video, like, it's got to be a year ago now, where I said, you know, microtransactions are not necessarily bad.
True.
You just need to understand it, and you need to, when you understand it, then you can see where it's implemented well and where it's not implemented well. Just like everything else.
Agreed.
Some things are implemented right and others are just fucked from the get-go.
Right. So
the gaming industry as a whole thinks that this DLC and microtransaction shit is it's all a ploy to get in their pockets. Well, you know what's stupid? If that's what you think, then stop pre-ordering games. Then don't buy the console, which is exactly what you do. You buy the console and you pre-order the game from GameStop. So yes, exactly what you're complaining about is what you're playing into. But besides that, it's not terrible, you know what I mean? And I didn't like how he stood up there and try to fucking wave his handkerchief around as if he's the good guy and he found the solution to the problem that's been ailing gamers for years.
Right.
Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, that type of shit's why I would never buy it. On top of the fact that I just don't give a shit about it. I'm not interested in it, but...
Right.
Damn, there's a conversation around every fucking thing. Are we ever happy?
I mean...
No, I'm happy.
I'd be happy. I don't want to make the mistake. I am happy. I'm just... I remember we're the early adopters, too. I usually don't like to adopt anything early. This is courtesy of Ignorant Gamers, why I even have all three within the first 2 years. And you know what I mean, for
Ignorance pays, baby.
For me 2016 would have been the breakout year for me. But although, oh no, I got a rig, I probably could have played Shadow Mortar on my PC, so it's no big deal, man. It's no big deal. All the heavy hitters always come out 2 years into the life cycle. That's when people stop playing games. Watch that Forza 6 though.
Yo, when is that? Is that a yearly release? When is that coming out?
It better not be.
Even announce that.
I would have never announced that.
I don't see that game ready no time, so that shit is not coming out this year.
It better come out September 2016. That's when it better come out. And there's a reason why I'm specifically saying September 2016.
Because that's when Gran Turismo hit?
Yeah.
That'll be dope to see.
There'll be
I don't want no confusion. I want to... See, here's the problem. If Gran Turismo comes out the same time as Forza, I'm not going to enjoy Gran Turismo.
I know that.
I'm always going to be running back to Forza.
I know.
But...
They know that. They know that too.
If we can get the motherfucker, you know, a year apart, I'll be happy. And people generally don't think that I'm a Gran Turismo fan for whatever fucking reason.
Oh, it's clear.
Because I hate Sony so much, which is fine. But I'm a huge Gran Turismo fan. And that's why I get so frustrated when I just see the shit around that game, like, Jesus Christ, man.
Right.
Yo, Gran Turismo might as well rename that series and sell it on Nintendo. Because the amount of arrogance that dude has, whoever the dude that makes that
from
shit.
Polyphony, yeah.
Polyphony, him and his squad,
yeah.
They are like on par with Nintendo's arrogance. Like, oh my god. These guys are nuts, but whatever.
Yeah, man. I think we done took this one a little further than we wanted to, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the dialogue. We could do this all day.
Yeah. True story. In fact, we do it all day.
Yeah, we damn sure do. Y'all don't even know.
We're about to start pushing YouTube videos of Facebook chats.
recording keystrokes. Recording keystrokes, and y'all just get a video like that. Put an instrumental over it.
Every day is a fucking day in the court of gaming.
Y'all don't even know. Anything you say can be used against you later.
True story. True story.
Oh man.
I got screenshots for days.
Yo, yeah.
I got screenshots for days.
Isn't the blue you? Did you say this?
Oh man.
Oh man, yeah. But we're gonna wrap this up.
Yeah,
and we gonna wrap it up and get some gaming in. You know, maybe drop some more bombs later tonight.
Yeah, we got a ton of videos coming, man.
Word.
Ton of videos. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel so that you know when the ignorance is hot off the the plate, the oven, whatever you want to call it. Like the video if you liked it. Hit a thumbs down to let us know you didn't like it, and then remove that thumbs down and give it a thumbs up.
Just because.
Appreciate that.
We accepted the thumbs down for a thumbs up.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And hit the comments, man. Start the dialogue. It's a conversation. We want to have a conversation with you guys. We often do. Shout out to a lot of our avid commenters. I think a lot of our dudes are getting just as ignorant as we are.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love it too.
You get to see they're starting to come into that, yo, we're not taking shit from anybody anymore.
Word.
Educated gamers around here.
You know?
But anyway, my name is Uncle RZA.
And it's your boy Snow. And we out.
This bitch.
One. It's ignorant gamers. Snow in the building. Let me make sure I got the right instrumental set up so I can finish talking my talk. Oh, yeah, I got it. Let's go. What's going on, gamers? What's going